What's going on out there, good people, and welcome back to LMD Trading, where I am living my dream trading. Man, it seems like I have been away for a minute on getting these recaps done. And I guess it has been probably over a week now. Took a much needed trip to Vegas. It was a golf trip with the fellas, so that was good. Did something that I don't usually do when I go to Vegas, and that is I left a donation there this year. Hit the blackjack tables twice. Both times, dealer was not very nice, and that was it. That might have been like first or second day I was there. I was done after that. Kind of went against what I usually do. Something that I can sometimes see myself doing trading. And I don't like gambling like in the morning. And came down, first day I got there, stayed at the hotel and came downstairs, hit the tables, quick donation, quick donation. And then came back the next day down on Fremont Street, hit the casino down there, left another little small donation. So it is what it is. But in the meantime, I've still been kind of trading here or there. Got a little trading in while I was in Vegas, not putting up much size, very small risk. And that has carried over since I've been back. Been extremely busy out in my shop. If y'all don't know, I do have an embroidery shop that I operate as well. And this is the time of year that gets pretty busy for me. I belong to a few organizations. One of them you can kind of see back there on my little table. A lot of people call that the funny hat that you see back there. We call it a fez. And it is something that we as Shriners wear. And this time of year, there are a lot of balls going on. There are a lot of conventions going on within the shrine. And that keeps me pretty busy. So in the evenings, I hadn't had time to really sit down and get any recaps done. But I said today, I want to sit down and at least get a recap done for today. So that is what we are going to do. Let's go ahead. Let's jump over into TRADERVUE. We're going to look and see what we did today. Like I said, very small risk today. Ended up taking 3 trades. It's showing 4. We're reviewing trades for Monday, May 8th. Traded Meta. That was an option play. CDC. That was a stock play. And SHOP was a option play. And AMD was a swing trade. One thing that I am doing is I am trying to find more swing trades. I've mentioned this in the past that I like looking at the larger time frames. I could see the moves a lot better on those larger time frames. When I say large, I'm looking at like maybe the hourly, the 4-hour, the weekly. So been looking for more of those type trades. But one thing I want to do before we get rolling is click here. And yep, I took this after the market open. I want to see what maxed unrealized gains were. So maxed unrealized 1568. What did we make? 1568. Basically was risking $10 on this trade. But look at that. That's really what I wanted to look at. Nice entry on the 2-minute chart. Little somewhat extended 3-bar play. But look at what this thing did compared to where I got out at. And that's because I moved my stop up as this was running. This trade probably went about 3.5, 4R. Like I say, risking $10. I made 15, so made 1.5R. Looking at from where I got in to where I got out, if you go back up there, that's at least 3R. little over 3R. that this trade actually could have made. But like I said, just small risk, kind of getting my feet wet for a Monday. And then the two option ones we'll look at on Thinkorswim. So let's go ahead. Let's bring up Thinkorswim. And we'll take a look. I'll go right back though. Let me pop back over there real quick. Just give you a quick glimpse of what I have done for the month of May since we've gotten into May. So May 1st, decent sized green day, not quite the goal of 100. The second, basically a flat day. The third, we did make our goal. No trades on the 5th. And actually, we did take trades, but they're swing positions. Those are swing positions, and we'll take a look at those. I'm trying to go back and do all of my swing positions in another video. But we did take 2 trades on May 5th. They're swings. And then today we hit our goal primarily because of the swing trade. So, like I said, that's why I'm kind of leaning more towards taking these swings. And this trade right here was up 640%. So doesn't look like much, but this thing was up 640%, y'all. And we're still in one contract. I bought 4, got out of 3 of them, held on to 1 of them. But let's go ahead, take a peek at the SPY real quick. This was the SPY today, looking at it on the 5-minute chart. And just chop, chop, chop. We got this hourly up channel. It just chopped around in there. So nothing really appealing about that. If you notice, I have clouds on my chart now. This was something that I kind of picked up from Spark over at Spark and Trades. He trades using these. I'm just putting them on my chart to kind of get familiar with being able to see, and it basically just shows you moving average crossovers. So this upper line is the 50. This lower line is my 200 on the weekly. And it's just showing you that. In the past, you would have seen this on my chart as a dashed gray line or a solid gray line on the weekly and a solid blue line for the 200 moving average. So here you just see it as a cloud. So trying to see what I may be able to glean from that. Up here on the hourly chart, let's see what time frames we have that as. He calls that his money zone. So I kept it kind of labeled that. That's the 8 moving average and the 20 moving average. So that's what this is showing. Just trying to see if I might be able to use this information more so for swing trades, not really for intraday. But let's take a peek at SHOP real quick. Big picture. Man, SHOP is just, look at that thing, just a banger. And let's look and see what this one is on this chart, because each of these have a different moving average period that I'm working with to kind of find where it's making the moves at. So this one here is a 10 moving average and a 20 moving average. And you see, you get the crossover, you get the big move. The way that he uses his, different time frames on the moving averages. And if it hits that money zone, he likes to be in the trade. I'm kind of using mines a little different. So as I kind of play with this, we're going to see what we can learn from it. Let's come down and look at the weekly though. I had SHOP on my watch list last week. Look at this excellent move. I did not take advantage of that move. Didn't get a trade in on it. But this morning, I did. Got a decent trade on that one. Let's go ahead and take a look at GDC real quick. And actually, before we do that, let me go ahead. I'm going to switch this over to 3-chart layout. And that way we can look at them on there. So first and foremost was Meta. Let's take a peek at Meta. Let's find Meta's contract. All of these trades, y'all, I left money on the table. by trying to stay in these a little bit longer than I should have. From what I remember. So let's go ahead, take a peek at Meta. Let's get over here. Let's look and see where we were getting in on Meta. So getting in at 239. I'm going to drop an arrow on the entry. Drop an arrow on the exit. Now you'll see this opened up here. I let this thing come all the way down, and then I finally got out. So it's one of the things I'm talking about when I say I gave back money. But let's go ahead. Let's look here. So with Meta, the thought on this trade right here, that's entry. We'll put the exit. Meta opened. Wasn't really paying attention to these areas. Previous days low. This is the weekly up channel. Wasn't really paying attention to that. What caught my attention on Meta was Meta opened. We got this wide range green candle followed by a wide range red candle that engulfed it. And then we came right back with another engulfing green candle. When I saw this coming back up, I got to loading a contract. We see that it was getting back over the VWAP. So I get in. I'm in a little late on that. And it's just the way that Thinkorswim be feeling you on these option trades. Kind of filled me high on a market entry, but got the move up. Kind of peekabooed up and then kind of pushed back down. Ended up chasing my stop up on this one. And ended up getting stopped out as it came back down. Made 26 bucks on it. Let's see what the high of this entry candle was. 268. So we got out at 252. That's $16. That's $32. So that's about right. I thought I was up about 50 bucks on those two contracts. So not bad. And if you look at where it finished at. 253. It closed at the same price that we got out at, 252. So could have held this all day long and it still finished right where we got out. What was the high? Ooh, look at that. A high of 375. Man. I know a whole other $125 per contract right there. That could have been had we just held on to it, but that was not the strategy we were working with. Let's go ahead and take a look at CDG. So CDG opens, kind of comes back down, previous day's close, comes down, sets a low right there, pushes back up, and it gets above the 20 moving average. We get a wide range. We get this little narrow range. We get in on this candle right here, 624, as it's breaking the high right there. Nice move here, and then an excellent move all the way back up to previous day's high. Should have been monitoring this a little bit closer as I was in this trade. This pulls back down. It breaks the 50 moving average. It keeps coming. 640, we getting out right there as this is coming back down to VWAP. So I setting this thing all the way up this move, and it came all the way back down, and it tagged me. And that was the reason why I went over to GDC to see what the max unrealized was. It's not accurate because I rode this all the way up. So 665, I'm in at 625. So what's that? 40 bucks. So max unrealized on this was about 40 bucks, which is what I pretty much remember on this trade. But this thing makes that nice move, and then it just kind of chops around, does finally break previous day's high, comes back up, does it again, but not something I want to sit in. Should have been getting out a little closer up here. Realistically, should have been getting out. That should have been basically first area of concern. If you look at this though, let's see, what is this candle right here? 10 cents. Yeah, 10 cents. Risk here to here. 100 shares, I'm risking $10. 624 entry. 635 is 2R. Is that right? Yeah, 645. I'm sorry, 645. So 2R is right there. That's good expectation as it comes up to the 50 moving average. So good trade there. Just could have managed it a little bit better to make a little bit more money. And let's take a look at the last trade here, which was shop. Let's get shop pulled up. Look at, that's another one. We got out at 101. This thing sets a high of 178. 78 bucks on 2 contracts. That's another 150 bucks left on the table if we just had diamond hands to hold it. Let's look and see where we were getting in on this one. 98. So decent entry. Got out at 101. Another one that we give back so much money. 101 and then 110. Man. Even if we would have got out in that candle, that's 119. It's $20 more per contract. That's 40 more bucks. That's 55 more bucks. So we could have made 50 on AMD, or not AMD, I'm sorry, 50 on Meta. We could have made 50 on Shop and about 40 on GDC. So definitely left money on the table. Let's take a look and see where we were getting in on this trade. So getting in on that candle right there. Take a look at the big picture, and we'll come over here to the hourly. Shop was breaking out of the weekly up channel. Breaking out of the weekly up channel. We can see it here on the 1 minute chart. Getting in right there. We get a retest, which is beautiful. And then this thing makes this nice move up. I'm getting out as it's like, so you see this big candle. This was like doing that inside of this candle. And then it finally pushes up. But I get stopped out as it kind of pushes back down. And then in the next candle, same thing, pushes back down. I get out of it. Look at what this thing did, y'all. Look at what it did. Nice move. Like I said, 178. How long would we have been in that trade waiting for it to get there? 11:55, so almost 12 o'clock. It hits high of day, kind of rolls over. But good solid trades. We just didn't really manage them right today. That's what I can kind of take away from that, is that I didn't really manage that right. But as always, thanks for checking me out. Try to get back on my regularly scheduled program of trying to get these things done daily. Actually got those machines out there running right now. Like I said, I just figured I'd take a quick 15-20 minutes. We're right there at that 20-minute mark to get this one done. And then I'll get another one done, kind of showing some of the swing trades that I'm in, my mindset on those. One of them was Weight Watchers. Man, Weight Watchers made a great move off the open. I didn't get out of the trade, y'all. I watched the green trade go red, but I am in some covered calls on that. So I made money on the covered calls, and I was going to sell 100 shares this morning to lock up some more profit. I didn't do it, and that thing has pulled back ugly. So we're going to see how that one works out. But As always, thanks for checking me out. If you hadn't hit that like button, please do so. If you're not subscribed, please think about subscribing. And as always, we can continue the conversation in the comments. This past week has been interesting. We had the big man, Jerome Powell, speaking, made the market do some incredible things. I did not take advantage of any of it, especially on Friday. So let's see what this week has to offer. I think we got two things going on Wednesday and Thursday. So let's see if that can move the market. On that note, I'm up out of here. Peace.